Hey, what's up everybody? It's Rox and it's just a little talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. Alright you guys, so we've been all watching the Republican National Convention and the Democratic National Convention the last couple of weeks. So we've been engrossed, right? I wasn't really that engrossed in the Republican National Convention because I'm not a Republican, I'm a Democrat. I did watch the wife, what's her name? Ann Romney, is that her name, Ann? And you know, she did what she was supposed to do. She did support her husband. I did find her speech to be kind of I just didn't buy it. You know, them trying to tell us that they had struggled and all that. I was just like, girl, you ain't never struggled. They could have. I mean, you know, not every white Republican has been rich all their lives and everything, but still, I just don't know. I just felt like maybe it's just my bias because, like I said, I'm a Democrat. So the Republican convention was just kind of whatever, you know, a couple of things. Clint Eastwood, I felt like Clint Eastwood really put a damper on the RNC and just really made a fool out of them, sort of. And I think that a lot of what he said in the RNC is what that convention is going to be remembered for. I know they probably hate that because, you know, it was confusing for me to see Clint Eastwood up there, because to me, I always thought that Clint Eastwood was kind of liberal. I mean, he supported the gays. He does want some kind of gun control laws in effect, supported the women's right to choose, and so it was just weird seeing up there, because I didn't know if he was a Republican or a Democrat, but I always felt that he wasn't so far to the left or far to the right in this case, and it was just weird to see him up there. So I did lose some respect for Clint Eastwood, which I've always liked him, so it wasn't good to see. And but it was funny to me that that's what a lot of this convention is going to be remembered for. Today I did go on YouTube. A friend of mine told me about Chuck Norris. If you guys haven't seen Chuck Norris's video on YouTube talking about Obama and you know, if he's elected president, you know what I've noticed a lot with Republicans is that they use a lot of scare tactics. You know, they like to incite fear in the people, because ever since 9/11, you know, we are always on alert and we're always afraid that somebody is going to attack us, because we're just not used to that. That's not what the United States is made up of, you know, always being on guard. And I think 9/11 made us become fearful. So I feel like the Republicans use that and really try to make us be afraid, you know, even with them talking about Obama being a Muslim and you know, our connotations with Muslims and thinking that all of them are terrorists, which is ridiculous, of course, just because they are Arab American or Arabians or Indian or Muslim or whatever it is. Obviously not every single one of them are bad, you know, most of them are not bad. So I mean, and so I think that they use a lot of that to scare us, and Chuck Norris is a really good example. His video is so ridiculous and so crazy, and you know, they make it seem like we're going to be in the dark ages if he's elected president in the next 4 years, like the fucking world is going to come to an end. It's just really sad to see that people think this way, and I would hope that it's my, you know, my naivete and my hope that people are generally good. You know, I would hope that the Republicans do not want to put Chuck Norris's views at the forefront and make us all believe that this is how they all think. But when stuff like this comes out, you just can't help to think that, God, do they all feel this way? Like, do they really, really think that he's that bad that the whole world is going to be in chaos? And y'all, anyway, y'all go see the video, because it's just some fucking ridiculous mess. But anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about the DNC. So the DNC has been on the last 3 days. First night was the night that Michelle Obama spoke, and you guys, I just have to say that I love Michelle Obama. I love the fact that she's a black woman who's eloquent. I love the fact that she's smart. I love the fact that we look at her and even though she's this black woman and it's all these different people that really do admire her, that we can see ourselves in her because we know their story. They made it very clear what they've come from and what they've become. And I think that even with their successes, that they are relatable, and we just can respect the fact that Michelle Obama supports her husband. Of course she's supposed to, even you know, as the first lady and everything. But I just think that they're a good example taking the politics out of it, because now I'm just going to get a little racial on y'all. I'm going to just talk about, you know, black and white here. Just to see, you know, a black family unit intact, supportive, loving. I just like to look at it, okay? So that part of it makes me happy. She looked beautiful and she just spoke well. I think that Michelle Obama is the greatest yang to Obama's yin, because a lot of the issue that some people have with Barack Obama is the fact that he's kind of standoffish, he's sort of aloof, he's always very calculated. It's almost like you can see his mind clicking with every word that he says. You can tell that he thinks about everything he says before he says it. And a lot of people are put off by that. But I can really truly understand why he has to be that way, because like I said, first, he's a black man first, before he is anything else. People are watching him under the microscope. And, you know, the minute that he flies off the handle or says something off the cuff or looks like he's too angry or any of that, then it's going to be the angry black man. He's our president. He's out of control. He can't handle it, you know. So I think that he has to take that stance. So a lot of times we don't get to see the passion in Barack Obama, because he's always thinking about the next step. So I think that when we get Michelle Obama, we get that part out of her. You know, what he can't really say or speak from the heart. I really feel like Michelle does that well for him. So she is like his ace in the hole, you know, because she can really bring the people in. I mean, people were in tears and everything. I mean, people were in tears when he was speaking again last night. But I just think that we like to, you know, women are more relatable, I feel like, anyway. They soften up the hard edges of politics. So it's just great to see them as a team. I'm not no whole big political person. I just know what I want as an American citizen. I know what I want for my kids. I know what I want for my family. I know what I want for my life. I know what I want for my community. And, you know, when it's time to vote, I vote. I do try to make sure that I vote, because that's what my parents instilled in me. When I was 18, they made me go vote. They used to mark up the book for me. I didn't even know what the hell I was voting for. My parents would mark it up. I would go and do it. But as I've gotten older and have my own family now, then yeah, I'm concerned about what happens to my children. And like I said last night on Twitter, the fact that Obama wants to have that damn student loan payment be decided by your income, that alone for me is enough for me to vote for the man, okay? Because them student loans is out of fucking control, okay? And what they want you to pay sometimes is more than what the hell you make. I am a witness to that because I have deferred loans and, you know, forbearances and all this, because I can't afford my student loan payment right now. There's just no way. I haven't found a new job. I've been looking, so anybody out there need a public administrator, y'all hit me up. I make sure that I do my duty and I vote. And I want to tell everybody out there to vote. It's the only way that a difference can be made. I know a lot of people have no trust in the government. I do work for the government right now, and I can just tell you that all government is not bad, but I do understand why everybody feels that way. And it just creates this whole feeling of distrust, and you know, nobody believes anything that's being said. Nobody knows where the money is going. Nobody believes where the money is going and all that. It is some really good things that happen in government. So you guys just vote. That's all I'm saying, is whoever you vote for, I think that you need to have your voice in what happens in your life. And the only way that you can have this vote is the only way you can have this voice is by voting. Bill Clinton was phenomenal, because I like to see Bill Clinton speak. I think he's one of the best presidents that we've had. He can just speak so well, so clearly. It's so many things in politics that confuses us, that we don't really know. I just feel like he broke it down so openly and so succinctly that we got it. Okay, he talked about Medicare, Medicaid. He spoke about unemployment and how unemployment has dropped. He's talked about saving the auto industry. I mean, just a lot of things that has happened. No, Obama has not been able to do all he needed to do, or all the things that he's promised. I think I saw on a news report yesterday that he kept 37% of his promises. But I do believe that he is going to try to do as much as he can. So I'm willing to just really vote for him again and give him 4 more years to try to work it out. I mean, a lot of presidents don't get nothing that they need done in 4 years, and that's why most of them do 8 years. So that's it. I'm going to say about politics. I really don't like to talk politics, religion on my channel, but I think that this is something as my, you know, as my duty as a YouTube personality now, to really try to get people to at least know that their vote is very important. Whoever you vote for, I'm not saying you should be a Republican or a Democrat, but I do think that as a citizen that you should exercise your right to vote. So get out and vote. We're also on last night, and I kind of flipped back and forth between the DNC and the VMAs, and mostly I watched the VMAs because I really just was mostly interested in watching Obama, but every now and then I would flip back and forth, but you know how that goes. Anyway, so the VMAs, I thought I was going to live tweet. I didn't live tweet. I tried, but it seemed like everybody and their mama wanted to call me last night, and it was calls that I needed to take, and then, you know, I had to cook dinner and take a shower and wash my face, and, you know, just a whole bunch of mommy duties and things around the house. And so it just kind of kept me from keeping my focus on the show, but I did pretty much watch it all. And you know, we just gonna talk about a few little things that happened in the show, because like I said, this show to me was real boring. Like, I'll only be excited about one award show, really two. It's anything that the BET Awards have to do with. So I like the hip hop BET Awards, and I like the regular BET Awards because, first of all, that's the music that I'm mostly interested in. Secondly, you know, they always have really good performances, and thirdly, it's a whole bunch of fuckery that goes on, so it's like a lot of entertainment for me. A few little things on performances I'm just gonna talk about. First of all, Rihanna performed. She opened the show, and she, you know, she did okay. I do like Rihanna. I think that she is not a singer, of course, and I think she wouldn't tell you that she was a singer, but she is a great entertainer. She just looks like she has fun on stage. She has a lot of fun music, a lot of fast tempo, upbeat party songs, dance songs, and you know, just something to, you know, kind of get the shit going. Rihanna went back to the short. Y'all, she was channeling her inner Joseline Hernandez. I like the little short on Rihanna. I think the short makes her look a little bit more mature and in control. You know, I like the blonde and the red and the big wigs and the big weaves and the curly hair and all of that. But, you know, that kind of contributes to her rocker girl, you know, out of control, you know, party like a rock star persona. I feel like when she has a short hair, it just makes us remember the old Rihanna, and of course the old Rihanna that used to be with Chris Brown. Now we gonna go there, y'all. I was really happy to see them both in a room together because it was just a long time coming. I know a lot of people have really strong feelings according to whether or not they should be together. I kind of sometimes feel like them two don't never need to be together no more, but you just can't help to just know that these two are they just love each other. I mean, y'all know I'm a sucker for love. These two will eventually make it back together once they can get over the bullshit of the flack that they would get from their viewers, I mean from their listeners and their fans and everything, and once they get a little bit older and really don't care anymore, you know, once they pretty much are through with their career in this light, you know, when the career moves on to the next phase, I think them two will end up back together. She kisses him, and I was just like, oh, the baby's gonna make it back together. They just have the chemistry, y'all. But I know y'all got problems with it. I do kind of feel like them two together is, you know, is a little bit much, but I just do like to see them two together. I know he got the little Pikachu, Karakuchi, what is her name? To me, she's kind of like a non-motherfucking factor. Who else? Nicki Minaj. You guys, I'm over it. I'm over the Nicki Minaj gimmick. I just don't get her. She's talented to me. And I know that her whole little look and, you know, the way she dresses and the way she talks and all of that is part of her whole thing, but it's just gimmicky to me, and I'm just over it, you guys. I don't really know if it has something to do with my age. Maybe y'all can tell me that. Maybe I just don't have the ability to connect to this fuckery anymore because I done got too old, but I don't know. You know, y'all enlighten me down in the comments what you got to say about Nicki Minaj, but you know, that fucking the hair and the clothes, and I'm just like, okay, and enough. And that brings me to Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz! No, he say it like this. 2 Chainz! It's kind of like, you know, he be kind of out of breath. 2 Chainz! You know, you got to say that a whole bunch of times. 2 Chainz! Okay, enough of that. Good for 2 Chainz, you guys, because he has got to be the only older rapper who was able to break into the game so late and be so successful. And he is older, you guys. He's like 35, 36. I mean, he look old, so he is fully representing, and I ain't mad. Good for 2 Chainz, because you know, it just doesn't happen every day. Good to see. Plus, I heard him on the radio, and he sounded like he had a lot of good sense. So he seemed like he was a good dude. I think he is from Atlanta. Yeah, I like seeing him on screen. Good for you. Lil Wayne, you guys, that's another one I'm over, because I'm just not understanding. At first he was gonna be the rocker. You remember he always had the fucking guitar with him, and he didn't never really play it. He just always was holding it. He'd strum across it every now and then. How you buy your damn kids one of them fucking guitars, and they be running your nerves down to the ground, just strumming the shit back and forth. Okay, that's what Lil Wayne was doing. Well, now he's a skater. Now he's got to have the whole skater look with the headphones, and he skates in on his skateboard, and you know, he got the fucking skater clothes on. He look a goddamn mess, and you know, he just, I don't know. Again, maybe it's my age. You know, maybe young kids really love all that. But I do like Lil Wayne. Like, I like his music. But that whole thing, you know, all the Cash Money, like all of them on the stage, and you know, just everybody kind of looked just a little bit wrong, a little bit off, special, like they came on the special bus. I'm kind of over Cash Money, but you can't, you know, you can't knock the hustle. If it works for them, it works. And y'all tell me again, am I too old for this shit? Wiz Khalifa and Amber, you know, I always make fun of them, but I do think those two really do love each other. They're a cute couple to me, even as strange as he is, strange looking to me. Just to see them two together, announcing that she's pregnant. You know, she looks good pregnant. She's a beautiful girl to me, I think. And you know, they look happy, and again, I'm a sucker for love, so good for the two of them. I can't remember what else. Y'all, whatever else happened on the show, y'all just gonna talk about it in the comments, and you know, I'll refresh my memory. I guess Memphitz got tired of all the name bashing that he endured during the season of Love and Hip Hop ATL, and he has decided for himself that he is going to sue. He went and retained something like 15 lawyers. When you read the damn paperwork, you'd be like, this person Esquire and this person at law and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. He went and got all these people, and he said that he is suing, you know, for defamation of character, and that the fact that he was talked about so negatively on the show, that it has contributed to him not being able to make money, basically. So he is going to sue $1 for every viewer that has watched Love and Hip Hop ATL. What is that? Every viewer, I think there was something like 4 million viewers or something like that. So somewhere between $4 or $5 million, I'm assuming. I was kind of surprised that he didn't name K Michelle, and I'm not really clear on this because I didn't see K Michelle in the, you know, when they were saying that he was suing. But then I also know that K Michelle went and got her lawyers and said that she is fully prepared to go to court. And that she, you know, she still maintains that what happened, and she has the proof and everything. So I'm not sure if he named her in the suit or not. But if he didn't, I think that we all know that it's because of money. She obviously doesn't have $4 million, $5 million just chilling around, able to just go pay somebody if she did lose the case. And he knows that he can get the money probably out of VH1 first. But we have to remember that VH1 is part of Viacom. Viacom damn near owns all the fucking cable. Y'all remember the shutdown when DirecTV got rid of all of Viacom's stations? The whole world was in turmoil, right? I know that Viacom is fully prepared to fight him in court, and I know that they're gonna win. They're gonna smash that boy down to the ground, because these people, first of all, K Michelle never mentioned his name on the show. It's always been the person that I dealt with, the person that I was with in the past, never his name. That alone seems like it would cover VH1 to me. Now, we all know who they were talking about, because in real life, on the blogs, on the radio, on the TVs, and all the interviews and all of that, you know, of course she was saying his name and who he was and all that. I kind of feel like Memphitz and Toya fan the flames of this, because at the very beginning, K Michelle was really trying to take the high road and just say, you know what he did with me, he might not do with somebody else. You know, certain women bring out certain things in men. I think that is 100% true. And maybe he has changed. Memphitz and Toya, you know, kind of took it to another level, which I don't think I blame them either, because, you know, if you're being talked about, it's hard to not react. So they did what they did, and then K Michelle ain't fixing to back down. The shit really got out of control then, and then it's just been a mess ever since. Now this thing could turn out two ways. It could either end very badly for K Michelle, or it can end very badly for Memphis. Y'all know my position on it. I believe K Michelle, and I really feel like he's probably barking up a tree that he don't need to be fucking around with. We might find out some shit that maybe he didn't want to know. Now, of course, it could work out the other way, and maybe we could find out that K Michelle is lying. I just don't feel that. I just don't feel it. She is just too unconcerned and bothered. She's moving on with her life. So we gonna see, y'all. I got my popcorn and my soda. I'm just gonna sit back and watch shit go down. I really have a feeling that you ain't getting no money here from me. Y'all, we gonna pray for Chad, okay? Chad is really, I think, going off the deep end. I don't really know what his reality is right now. Now, we know that they haven't spoken. Him and Evelyn haven't spoken since the incident. And, Evelyn was on Nightline some last week sometime talking about the incident. To me, Nightline did her a disservice because, first of all, the thing was like all of 3 minutes long. It was so chopped up and edited. It kind of starts off with her crying. You don't really get no background. It's just her talking about what happened. And to me, it made it look like they wanted her to look like, she was lying. First of all, she didn't have no damn scar on her head, which is concerning to me, because I know that medication can do a lot, but it's like, fuck, if your face was busted open, and where the goddamn can I get a scratch? This nigga was smooth as a fucking chalkboard, wasn't she? But still, it just was weird the way they put that show on, and it seemed like they knew that we were gonna look at that and be like it was crocodile tears or something like that. You guys know that I was really trying to champion this relationship and really trying to be positive and really hoping that it would work out, but damn, it felt like that shit was over. Like, it was over and it was over. I am in no way saying that you should be with somebody who is violent towards you and who hits you, who busts you in the head busts you, whatever it is, but damn, you ain't even talk to him. Like, to me, when you love somebody, even if you feel like you can't be with them, it seems like you would have some sort of closure. Like, hey, I'm gonna talk to you, I'm just letting you know that I will always love you, but we can't do this, especially right now. But it just seems like she just cut it, and that's the part that makes me just feel some kind of way about it. I don't know. I don't want to say that she was in it, for the wrong reasons, or that he was in it, because what it looks like now is that Chad has realized that he did love this girl, and now he wants to get her back. He done went and tattooed her face on his leg, and he's vowing that he's gonna get her back, and whether he does or doesn't, right now Evelyn is not on that page. It's kind of making him look crazy. I don't know. I'm just gonna get out of it. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say in the comments. I'm not gonna defend it or nothing, because I have to call it as I see it. It is something weird about that relationship and why it just was so finito. I mean, just done. After that happened. So, hey, say what you guys say. I still would like to see them work it out, but I gotta call it like I call it. Something's up with that. Tamika Harris, who we all know as Tiny, and we also know as the better half to T.I., she had a nail bar in Stockbridge here down in Georgia, and the nail salon burned down to the ground the other day. They don't really know exactly what caused the fire, but it has like a store that's in a strip mall, and her store was actually right in the middle of the strip mall. None of the other stores were affected. They were able to get the fire out before it spread onto the others, and I guess they're still trying to find out what caused it. I'm sure having the chemicals, the nail polish, and all of that stuff in there probably helped attribute to the fire. Look at me, y'all, I'm a fire investigator. But they're going to investigate and find out exactly what was the cause. But thank goodness that our Tiny and T.I. was both safe. Stacey Littlejohn, who is the creator of the show Single Ladies, has decided to pull out the show, move back to Los Angeles, and work on her own her other projects there. I have a feeling that Stacey Littlejohn saw what the hell was going on with that show and got the hell on out, because I'm telling you guys, Single Ladies, this sucks. It's horrible. It's bad. I used to love the show the first season. I don't know what happened the second season, but the shit just fell apart. It has become something else The acting is atrocious. The storylines are all over the place. So unbelievable. I know Desperate Housewives used to do that same kind of thing, but this, it just, something about it just rings just like, we got beautiful people on the show, the clothes are wonderful and everything, but everything else is just bad on there. I don't know who watches that show. Y'all watch it? Y'all do, huh? The only reason why people watch that show is because that it followed Love and Hip Hop ATL, and you know that was like one of the highest watched shows on television. I would bet my bottom dollar that if they put that show as a leading show, like say 8 o'clock on a Monday night, nobody would turn to that show. Nobody would remember to turn to that show. I think the only reason why we watched Single Ladies is because we was waiting for Love and Hip Hop ATL to come back on at 10 o'clock. They say now that since Oprah has taken the lead on her own network and, you know, has decided to do all these big name interviews, that the OWN network it looks like they will eventually turn a profit. The CEO for Discovery said that ever since January of this year, they have noticed that their ratings are climbing and that, you know, that they are making the money off of the show, you know, to take care of this large debt that they had, you know, suffered the first year or two, however many years that the show, that the network has been up. They said that as long as everything continues the way it is, that they should turn a profit and be in the black by the end of 2013. So very, very good to Oprah. We know that Oprah can do it. Oprah can do anything. To Michael Clark Duncan, you know, the big actor, the gentle giant, I think, from the Green Mile that we all knew and loved. He died over the weekend. You guys already knew that. He was engaged to the Reverend Omarosa Manigault. I didn't know that she was a reverend. Good for her. So we're along the line. She has turned her life around, and good. I didn't know that, though. I did know that they were together, that they were a couple, and they looked happy together. I noticed that he had started losing weight once they had got together. I didn't know if it was because of health issues or because, you know, they were just motivated. He was motivated to look better and feel better and be healthier once he got with her. I mean, she was she was always in shape. But he did have a heart attack back in July of this year, and he never fully recovered. I think they said that he was unconscious and had no oxygen for at least 5 minutes. So that takes a lot of damage and toll on your body. I guess technically he was dead, and Omarosa actually was the one who did the CPR and brought him back. But he never fully recovered, and he did die. His funeral is going to be this Sunday. I believe they said it was at West Angeles Church of God in Christ. That's my old church in LA, with Bishop Blake doing the ceremony. I mean, it's Bishop Blake's church. I think it's another reverend from somewhere else, I think DC, that's coming down to conduct the services. So this is just a condolence to Omarosa, her family, his family, of course, his children, whatever. There's some drama going on with some child that's supposed to be an illegitimate child of his that's trying to get some money out of his estate or whatever is left. Y'all know how that goes. I don't really know much about it other than it's this girl, I think she's like 21 or something, and she's demanding some money. So we're going to see how that goes. You know how shit goes when somebody dies. Folks start coming out the goddamn woodwork. But anyway, not even thinking about that. Condolences to the family. Again, rest in peace, Michael Clark Duncan. Maybe it was something to all that drama between Rebe, Janet, Jermaine, and Randy and Michael Jackson's estate, because now they're saying that ain't no damn money up in that account for them kids. They're saying the trust fund is empty. The people that's handling the estate are saying, yeah, the trust fund is empty. We have made all this money, $600 million or whatever, and we are trying to get the bills all in order so that we can pay everybody off. And once everybody else is paid, then the children's trust will be funded as well. And that makes sense to me, because you guys know how it is. Even when you buy a house, you know, or whatever, you got to wait for the money to get there, and then the money is dispersed to everywhere it got to go. So I guess that's what it is. We're gonna give them, you know, I know Michael been dead for a couple of years, and you know, there's a lot going on. We're gonna give him another year or two to get it together, and then we're gonna be like, where the fucking money? Tiny Lister, who we all know as Debo from the Friday franchise, you know, the movie Friday, he done hit a little snag, and looked like Brother Man gonna be going to jail for a few years. Mr. Tiny Lister had involved himself in some mortgage fraud, and it looks like him and with a group of other people, I think 3 or 4 other folks, had went and purchased 4 homes in Los Angeles, and got these loans out on these homes with no intentions of paying the mortgage, and then they took out what I'm gonna think is like a home equity line, a credit, or a home equity loan, and borrowed against the homes. Didn't pay against that either, knowingly knowing that they weren't going to do it, and just collected all this money. I think they're saying something around the amount of $3.8 million. So a lot of money. I mean, times is hard, y'all. It's just rough out there. So, and this is proof right here. You know, you'll never know what people's situation is. So it looks like Debo is probably not going to be in that last Friday, which sucks, because if Debo is not there, it's just gonna be like, we wanted the whole original cast. I mean, first it was Chris Tucker was dropping out, now we ain't got Debo. And you want to know who else is probably not gonna be in it? I cannot think of his name, you guys. I didn't put it in my notes. But y'all remember Pinky from the next Friday? Well, look like Pinky, somebody is accusing him of rape, y'all. We don't really know what exactly is going on just with that case just yet, but yeah, you guys, if he was accused of rape and if he gets found guilty, then he ain't gonna be in the movie either. And so, like, what is really what we gonna have in the movie? I don't know. I want this last Friday to be done right. Maybe we need to put that shit on the back burner until we can get everybody there. Terrence J, who is the former host of 106 in Park, has finally announced that he is going to be replacing Ryan Seacrest on E! News. And you guys, that is big fucking news, okay? E! News is a really big network, and for him to be able to parlay his little 106 in Park gig and move it all the way up to E! News, he is doing the damn thing. We did know that Terrence J and Roxy was going to be leaving BET. They had been there 7 years, and me, like everybody else, couldn't stand him when they first got on the show. I thought that he was just too excited and too, you know, everything. And, you know, he would be jumping all over the place, and he was kind of annoying. And the same with Roxy. But, you know, when they came on, that's when I realized that, okay, it's time for me to move on. And, you know, BET 106 in Park is just not for Roxanne no more, bitch. Too old. Over the years, they turned out to be better at their craft and became, you know, good hosts, just as good as anybody else, other than AJ and Free. I don't think anybody will top them. But, you know, I did come to, like, look at them and respect them. They knew what they were doing. Better with the mics, better with the audience, better with their guests and everything, right questions, all of that. Terrence J moving on to E! News is really, really big and very good for him. I'm very, very happy for him and all that he is, you know, all that he has succeeded at doing. Roxy, I don't really know what Roxy doing. We just got, you know, Roxy with Eddie, and really that's a fucking promotion too, if you ask me. We gonna hope the best for both of them, but we gonna do a special kudos to old Terrence J. Boy, you best to do that. Real fast, you guys, I just got to tell you guys this one little thing. Why I haven't put my Roxicology video up. I haven't put it up because I had something happen. One of the people that wrote me for advice, I gave her advice, and she did what we all thought was going to be the best in her situation, and she ended up getting hurt. And her story didn't turn out well. She's still having a hard time with a lot of things, and I'm not going to get into it on here because she didn't tell me that I could tell you guys what's going on now. But I just have to tell you guys that when she wrote me to tell me about the follow-up, which a lot of my viewers do write me afterwards and kind of tell me what happened, what they did, you know, things like that. Once she told me what happened, you guys, it broke my heart. It broke my heart because I just felt like I realized that, you know, I got people's situations in my hand, and it just seems like I didn't really realize how much influence that I have on somebody, you guys, because I just have a little channel. Like, I just go to work every day. I got bills like everybody else. I be stressed about money. I do whatever I can do, but I have a regular life like everybody else. I don't feel like I'm like this Iyanla or Oprah or, you know, somebody that really has I've experienced a lot in my life, and I really do feel like I have common knowledge like everybody else, but it got so overwhelming to me that, you know, I told somebody to do something, and then she did it, and then it happened to her like that. So I was so heartbroken, and I just kind of feel like I might not do Roxicology anymore, you guys, because I don't want to have that feeling that if I told someone to do something, I mean, you don't have to do, you guys know I'm not a professional, and you guys know that you don't have to do what I do, but just something inside me just made me just feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna stop this. Because if something else happens to somebody else, I don't know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna see with Roxicology. I got like a bunch of letters right now that I have just been holding on to, because this happened a few days ago, and I just been sort of not knowing what to do. I do know that if I do this last video, because I got those letters and I feel like I need to at least answer those, after that I probably won't do it for a while. But anyway, you guys leave comments. Alright, you guys, so we do this every week, so you guys make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.